everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Top 10. I'm John Rocha.
And I am Matt Knost. We are back to our regularly scheduled programming. My thanks to Steve, Mr. Morris, for filling in last week. He did an excellent job.
What a guy. What a guy coming in and handling business. Did you enjoy? Well, it was good because you were down like with this thing's been going on in LA. So how are you feeling now? How are you feeling today?
I'm fine. I just had a chest cold that was pretty nothing, morph into bronchitis.
Oof,
then I had to go to urgent care and get a bunch of antibiotics and an inhaler and all that stuff.
Right.
Although the doctor said it wasn't that bad, which I agree with him. I've had much worse bronchitis, but it's still hanging around.
Yeah, of course.
After all this time, you just futzing with your background there, trying.
Trying to get. I mean, I've just got a green screen the other day, so I'm just trying to. I'm trying to use it wherever I can to get more experience with using it. But yeah, there we go. It's a little bit better there. But anyway, go ahead. Yes, sorry.
Well, then the reflection off the arm of your glasses then reflects
weird,
the green,
isn't it?
So then it also changes into the background.
Yeah, I should mess with it a little bit more. But yeah, that's the game now.
No. Let's do off-air stuff on there. What else you got? Look, come on. What other options?
Oh,
get rid of yourself entirely.
You prefer, to be honest with you, you just there, boom, and I appear. You thought, boom, there I am. So there you go.
Yeah, but when you X yourself out and you smile, you look like the Cheshire Cat because you can barely see the smile come through.
Yeah, just mess around with stuff. Let's go to the brick wall. I like that one. There you go. How about that one? How about America, Matt?
Are these all just presets?
Yeah, these are all presets. Yeah.
What does it take? A PNG file?
Yeah, a 1280 by 720 PNG file. But it's, dude, I mean, because the width of the Sony ZV-1 the scope of it is so long. A 6-foot one didn't work, so I had to buy a 10-foot green screen, and it's still on the edges. You can see where it's at. So I ended up buying a stand-up desk, which I built. So if I need to kind of go up, I unplugged it. Never mind. But yeah, it goes up and down. So I think that's an easier fit. And I just got a monopod that should be coming hopefully soon, so that I can back up the camera a little bit, because I've had it attached to the desk for like almost 2 years. So I'm gonna back up the camera a little bit, but I didn't want like 3 legs sticking out like that, so conserve a little bit of space. And I think that's going to be the final like configuration that's going to work for what I got going on.
If your camera's a wide angle lens and you back it up, you're going to run into an even greater problem, not being have the coverage from the green screen.
Yeah, but then I can move in a little bit closer, but still keep the distance. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm trying it out. I can return it if it's not really.
So do a rack focus. You really love Citizen Kane. Again, this is the first time in podcasting right here. Some people say it's the greatest podcast ever.
It's the greatest podcast ever. It's the best I've ever heard. But I'm glad that you're back on the mend. I see you got in the Christmas spirit over there. You got your tree behind you.
We went full fucking out, dude. There are so many Christmas lights up in my house. It's pretty impressive. We don't have to turn lights on at night. There's enough.
Oh yeah.
Illumination from all the strands of lights that we've got up in various areas of our house. I'm not even joking. We don't turn on the kitchen lights because I hung strands from the ceiling in the kitchen, and we got them in the back, and I've got them on the front deck, and they're fucking everywhere. I've got strings of lights everywhere. I wish there were more holidays like this where you could I guess Halloween is the other, but then outside of that, like, you don't do this for anything else.
No. But I think it's because, you want to blow it out. It's the end of the year. It's a whole month. You can celebrate for a whole month. I don't think a lot of people celebrate Halloween for a whole month. But with Christmas, it feels, because there's like 5 Halloween songs. Get real. And whereas you could go on Sirius right now, and there's like 5 Christmas stations.
Oh, there's a Mariah Carey only station.
Yeah, that's true. Mariah Carey only station. They've got a country Christmas station. They've got a standard Christmas station and modern classics Christmas station. So you got it all to just kind of relax and enjoy. And you know what? I did the same. We did a version of the same, because we didn't decorate last year because we flew to Virginia, and my girlfriend was like, no logical reason to decorate, which I kind of had an issue with, but whatever. So this year I was like, just tell me what you need. You're the decorator. I will buy it, put it up. And sure enough, I mean, I'm very happy with how we bought a reindeer. We bought lighted reindeer. We got a couple of ornaments out there, like those massive big ones. And then she's put some strings up, lights in the tree. And then she's hung snowflake lights above the garage. And then in here, we decorated the tree as a Liverpool tree. So it's red and white with the teal from the logo on it. So it's great. It's a lot of fun. But, I haven't been able to enjoy it because I've been working and doing all this stuff. So I'm taking the whole week of Christmas off so I can just fucking sit and enjoy it, enjoy the lights, watch movies, do whatever the fuck I want to do, man. So I haven't been able to, I want to fully enjoy Christmas at least for one fucking week, So
I agree.
like it's nice to put it up in your lights, the lights in your house though. We only have the tree, so to put it up through the house, that's actually really cool. It's kind of smart,
Did it went overboard last year because we didn't get a tree because we weren't going to be here on Christmas itself.
Right.
So decorated around, and then this year we're going to be here. So
yeah.
Well, we already have those lights. And then for some reason we had like 2 extra strands. I don't remember from what. One was burnt out, so just trashed that one.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, got so many lights up. Thankfully they're all LED, so like the actual the juice that they're taking is minimal, and it's not like we're burning through power needlessly just for festive spirit. I mean, I would feel guilty if they're all like incandescent.
Yeah, you'd be like,
if this was I mean, it's just so much power. And I hate the environment just as much as the next guy.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, don't. I mean, burn it down. I'm not having kids. Fuck them. Yeah. So, I mean, having all these LEDs is like, well, the amount of energy these things take to light is next to nothing. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so it's just go. Why not? Let's get more lights. Who cares? It costs like a nickel to light this thing for a month. No problem. But yeah, I've got 3,000-foot strands up outside.
Yeah.
And then inside, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10.
Wow. 10.
Yeah. 10.
Wow.
So 10 is a boatload of lights. And we still got a box unopened from, I don't know why we have it.
Are you going to return it or are you just going to keep it?
Oh, it's been sitting in our Christmas box for who knows how long. I don't know why we got it originally. Catherine posed that question the other day. It's like, why do we have this extra box when we have all the, like, I don't remember buying it, so I don't know.
Someone just dropped it off, man.
I don't know. Santa gave it to us one year. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh,
but yeah, and then got stockings up and Christmas pillows and hand towels and all that jazz. Why not, man?
Yeah, get it all, man.
I just hate it because it goes Halloween, New Year's, Christmas.
There we go.
Pardon me. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and then it's fuck all for months.
Yeah, well, because you don't celebrate Valentine's Day. That's for children.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's not a real holiday.
It's not a whole month, Yeah, it's not a real holiday as well.
It's not. It's a bullshit holiday.
Yeah, I really don't care about any holidays anymore except for Christmas. Like, I really don't like even Thanksgiving. Remember, I just hung out by myself all day. No big deal. Like, I don't care about those things other than Christmas. I just like the feeling like it's the end of the year. It's like the Sunday of the year. The entire month of December is like the Sunday of the year. You get to fucking relax, chill out a little bit. I'm not as stressed. And you want to listen to some music, and people seem nicer. Although if you're shopping for shit, not so much. But when you're hanging out, like walking around, they seem a little cooler. So
yeah, I can't. When was the last time you actually went in person shopping for something like in a busy time? I couldn't tell you the last time I did it. Everything's online now, thank God.
Yeah. Well,
so we don't have to deal with that.
Our area is not too crazy. So like we went to At Home. That's the place we bought all the lights and all the decorations from that place. But it was like, it was like 20 people in the store.
Yeah, it's a normal day for them.
Yeah. So
it's not like you're hitting up some department store when they're having, or you know, some big box store when they're having a huge sale on something just to draw people, into it to get them to buy other stuff, which I haven't done.
Yeah.
In forever.
The closer you get to downtown, the crazier it gets for sure. So that's why we stay all the way out here, man. It's better.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, Fashion Valley, you don't go to.
Oh yeah, no, only for screenings. Only for screenings. Do I go to Fashion Valley or Mission Valley?
Yeah, Mission Valley.
Yeah. The worst one is Reading Square. Town Center Cinemas at Reading Square. Oof.
Where is that?
Off the 52. It's off.
Okay.
If you remember the 52, it's like one of
Yeah.
those areas off the 52, and it's got a fucking Chili's and a Krispy Kreme and a Ross, and you get inside the theater. There's only one good theater in that entire theater, and they rarely show the screenings in that theater. So I imagine they say that for the premiere ticket people. So, but you know, you deal with it because you get to see something early. So, but it's the worst one. I don't mind Fashion Valley. I don't mind Mission Valley.
Yeah, they're good theaters. I liked ArcLight in La Jolla right off the 5 there, but I don't know what's going on with that theater.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, we've done the what's it, the THC theaters over in La Jolla. That's a nice theater as well. That's
I
a
don't
really
know if
nice
I know
theater.
that one.
Yeah, it's
There's
in
a
the
good
outdoor
art house one
location.
down in downtown-ish. The West Hollywood of San Diego.
Yes, Hillcrest Cinemas.
Hillcrest.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been there a few times. Those are nice, actually. The leather seats, the spaciousness of them. I'm all right with that. Yeah.
Plus, you'll see movies that don't play anywhere else.
Yes,
in town.
you're right. 100%. Yeah. So if
So
I
I
miss
saw,
a
like,
screening for one of those, I find my way over to Hillcrest.
Yeah. I saw like the Diving Bell and the Butterfly there, and a bunch of other random small movies that just weren't playing anywhere else.
Yeah. I saw that Sean Penn Flag Day film there, and there wasn't many other places it was showing.
No, don't you think there's a reason for that?
Yeah, it was not a good movie.
I mean,
it's so bad.
When Sean Penn is the brain trust behind, I'm not sure if that's going to be a good movie.
Casting his daughter as a lead. Yeah, you're so
she could be great. Yeah, I don't know.
Not from what I saw. Not in that movie.
Well, maybe he can't get anything out of her. You know what I mean? He can't give her proper direction because it's his daughter.
Yeah, you're right. He directed it, didn't it? I totally forgot if he directed it.
Yeah. So maybe it's hard to give her notes of like, hey, trying to. He just sees that it's amazing because he's blinded.
Whatever, Dad. You punched Madonna. Whatever, Dad. Just bringing up old shit the whole time. Yeah, there's another theater as well, an AMC one that I think is nice, like connected to a Trader Joe's. That's also in, I think, La Jolla as well, but in a different area of La Jolla. That's a nice one. You kind of go into the mall and down. You can literally park right in front of the theater, which is great. And you just go down and watch the thing. Most of those theaters in there are pretty cool too. For an AMC, it's pretty cool. So
nice.
But yeah, that's my life. There you go. Great trip down the lane.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, whatever you're celebrating. I mean, this will come out right before Christmas itself.
Right. Yes.
I don't know when Hanukkah is this year.
It's after Christmas, I believe, because our the lady who cleans our house, she's Israeli. She's talked about Hanukkah the last time she was here, and I think she said like it's after Christmas this year. So there's a little bit of frustration, she says, from some of her kids who are like, how come all the other kids are getting stuff and we're not going to get stuff until later? So it's a whole thing. But I don't get involved. It's everybody's life.
Yeah. And I don't know what other celebrations happen.
Kwanzaa
this times of year. Kwanzaa, but then I don't know if there's one in Islam.
Oh, right. I don't know. Yeah.
You would assume they would have something around this time of year, but I don't know. So whatever you're celebrating out there, hopefully you have a good holiday.
You walked out in that minefield. I like it. Then you slowly walked right on out.
Well, I'm just saying, to each their own. Have fun, enjoy your holidays.
Yeah.
Don't get drunk and drive.
Yeah, please do not do that. But speaking of holidays, Matt, how can we not talk about this? Your thoughts on the Henry Cavill situation? He might not be having the best of holidays. James Gunn, Henry Cavill, thoughts on this?
He's not. And technically for today's show, I'm Steve Morris.
Oh, shit. Sorry about that.
Nope, leave it. I like it. It's almost like a Star Trek font. It's like a Star Trek font. No.
No way. No.
Look, the writing was on the wall. He was not long for this DC world, and we all knew it. And, comes back for Black Adam, and you're like, but then they also didn't It's like when an athlete doesn't have an extension on their contract.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe, or a coach or something. Just like, you're kind of a lame duck. Prove to us that you're worth it. And then had Black Adam done $2 billion.
Oh, this would be a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Because right now, Zach Levy is basically taking a flamethrower to Hollywood. Just like, if I'm not in the next Shazam, I love that his thread is, we're no longer friends.
That was so weird to essentially perform professional blackmail.
Yeah.
And
In
emotional
public.
blackmail on a guy who's like, he doesn't have enough to deal with. You got to throw this on top of this log on top of the fire that like your friendship is at stake. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, I thought it was such a weird thing to say because you have no idea what it's like to run an entire fucking franchise. And the last thing you want is one of your friends to be threatening you with your friendship as you're like, I got so many plates that are spinning here. Why the fuck would you want to add another plate for me to spin, man? Why don't you just chill out? And then boom, he started out saying the right thing. I've been been a fan of Peter, been a fan of James, and all this sort of thing. And we'll see what happens. That's the answer. That's all you say. We'll see what happens. I hope we continue doing Shazam. I love doing it. But when he veered into that, that shows that you think that position is weak. That's what I think. No one be pulling that shit on Feige. No one would pull that shit on.
Well,
Feige.
maybe early on in Feige's tenure,
I don't know.
but not once he's established. But at the same time, it's like, honestly, dude, your fate rests entirely with how the next movie does.
Yeah, exactly. If it even comes out though, Matt, that's the thing when we're looking at this is like,
oh, it's true. If they reset the universe,
you might as well fucking do it all now. Why wait around and do lame duck movies that aren't going to be lining up with your universe? It doesn't make sense. And maybe that's why Levi pulled that card, because he'd been hearing the rumbles behind the scenes. Because by the time it gets to the trades and the sources and all that shit, it's been talked about for a while. So it may have gotten to him by his own people that they are looking at killing the Shazam movie or doing whatever with it, possibly, and considering taking the loss. And so maybe he felt the need to say that kind of stuff as kind of a stance, But in the end, I would not be surprised if he cut the Shazam movie and the Aquaman movie, because fans are going to know that they're lame duck movies. I think at this point, if Gunn doesn't come out and say, this is the universe, I don't think people are going to go see these movies in the numbers that they would have been before. Because look at X-Men Dark Phoenix. Nobody went to see that fucking movie. Or New Mutants. Nobody went to see those movies because A, because they weren't good, but also B, because they weren't connected to anything that was going to keep continuing. So why bother?
Dark Phoenix, we knew was DOA for the franchise.
Yeah.
So this is the end. Everybody's sick of it. Jennifer Lawrence has basically talked her way out of, even if you do sequels, I'm out.
Yeah. She's like, kill me off here, please.
Yeah. It's because her role became less and less over time.
But she's too big for it, too.
Yeah.
Like, she's not an ensemble. She's the lead.
Well, I mean, had they made her the entire focus, I think she would have come back. But because it's part of an ensemble and you're a lesser character in this ensemble, like I understand entirely why she's like, I'm good. I'm done.
Like Zoe said the other day, like, I'm getting tired of doing all these franchises. She's not saying she don't want to do them. She's just tired because she wants to spread her wings as an actress. That being said, those things make money. So she's, collecting her paycheck, for God's sakes. But she has this, desire to do more. Jennifer Lawrence, same situation. If those movies have been making billions of dollars and she was the focus, it wouldn't have been an issue for her to get.
Yeah, it was like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
The reason she made, what are there, 5 of those?
Yeah, I think so. 5. Yeah. Because they split the last one into 2.
Into 2 parts.
Yeah.
Which I never saw. The second movie was basically the first movie.
Yeah.
Just slight alterations, and I was like, oh, so this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I think that's why I've never seen Hangover 3, because I'm like, I saw the first 2, man. They were same fucking movie. So I don't want to see a third one. It's the same fucking movie. So.
Well, the third one is the first one. The second one at least tried to change things up a little bit, but the third one is the first one.
Is it really? Oh, okay. We'll see. There you go.
So if memory serves, I haven't seen it in forever. And I don't intend on. If I watch any of those, it'll be the first one, but I don't even know if I'll watch that.
Yeah. Maybe scenes from it.
Yeah. Scenes, I'm more than happy to go back for, but the whole thing, I can't imagine doing it anytime soon.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Ah,
I got to catch up on some of these Oscar movies this week, so or next week. So I'll be watching a lot of those too. I got to
yeah, I
catch
need to
up.
do the same. Although I'm not that jazzed about quite a few of them.
Yeah.
So far, I've been slightly underwhelmed with what I've seen so far this year.
Mm, mm.
Like an end of year, what we normally do in January at some
Oh
point, our
yeah,
favorites of the year.
we should do that definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but it's like, oh man, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, can I get to 10 right now?
Wow.
Well, it's just like I'm stretching for those last few where I think the movie's good, but it's not great.
Right. Right.
Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I've got
It's been a
Fablemans to
lackluster year.
watch, Tar to watch. I'm dreading watching Tar, like big time.
Yeah, I got to see Tar.
Yeah.
Fablemans, I'm fine if I don't see it right now, but I will
Mm.
see it right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Avatar, I have
Oh,
no desire to see whatsoever.
so good, dude. I wasn't the biggest fan of the first one. This is really good.
It's
I'll just
3
leave it at
hours
that.
and 12 minutes.
It is. It
You
is.
fucking kidding me with that? 3
I
hours
mean,
and 12 minutes.
12 minutes of it is credits, but yes, but then there's no post credit scene, so you don't have to stick around. But yeah, 3 hours of movie for sure. Yeah,
That's too much. It's too much. Endgame is that because there's 20 some odd movies leading up to it. This
right.
is just Jimmy going, well, I got 7 more of these and I've been working on this for over a decade. It's like, I
Yeah.
don't know if you need 3 hours, but I haven't seen it.
Hmm.
I've already had numerous people like, how did you go on? Have you seen? I could give a shit about Avatar. I saw the first one once in the theater. I've never seen it again.
Yeah, yeah. Same. I'm in the same boat. I've only seen it 3 times in my life. In that first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, it's fine," and then I watched it on a date with somebody, and then just before I went to go see it for the screening, because I hadn't seen it in forever, I watched it on Disney Plus just to kind of, and I was like working on stuff and answering emails and building thumbnails and shit for other stuff. So I had it on, and
Mhm.
so I had the headphones on so I could listen to the dialogue, but I was working on a bunch of other shit. And in the end, it's just not that, for me, it's not that interesting of a film other
Yeah,
than the technology.
it's Fern Gully meets Aliens. There's your movie done.
Right, right. But
Um,
this one felt a little, much more interesting, and the technology was fascinating. And I thought the story and the script were much better written and worked into the film itself. And that's what drew me to the film more than anything else. Technology is always great. I mean, Transformers, I love those. They're fun,
yeah,
but like the story has got to hook me for me to really care about the movie. And the story did so, which the first one didn't do that for me at all.
I mean, the first one was I saw it in 3D, and it's probably the only 3D movie that's ever worked
Mm.
that consistently over the course of an entire movie for me.
Right, right
So
on.
there's something to be said where that's the only thing potentially going to get me out to the theater is if I'm going to see this, I need to see it in the full spectacle it was intended for.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because you're going to lose a bunch of that on the transfer to any kind of digital platform.
Yeah. I'm gonna try
So
to see it in Screen X. I want to see the kind of presentation there. We'll see.
you think there's a 4D and they squirt you with water and shit, like Muppet style? There should be. Jimmy Cameron's hooked up with Disney. They've got that old Muppets 4D screen set
What's
up.
that? What's that a 1980s film where they punch and they hit you in the nose when you're
Oh,
wearing
I
the
don't
3D
remember. There was
glasses?
a 1980s film. What did it like shoot air at your face or
No,
something?
no, no. There was a film in the 1980s, and the two characters are fighting in the theater. They stumble into the theater, they're fighting in theater, and one of them punches and hits a woman who's wearing 3D glasses, and or hits the dude who's wearing 3D
Oh,
glasses, and he says, "Wow, this 3D is lifelike. It's so lifelike." So
yeah. It
yeah,
sounds like a Naked Gun movie, but
probably was Naked Gun. Yeah, this 3D
I
is
mean,
so lifelike.
it's clearly not the first one. Um, I'd have to rack my brain about 2.5 and 3 and a third.
Maybe, maybe.
It's been a long time. I'll happily watch the first one right
Oh yeah,
now. The
yeah,
others, I don't know if I'll ever see those ever again. Um,
yeah. I'm looking it up real quick. I don't know if it'll come through. Yeah,
all
yeah.
right. Well,
I'm sure it won't come through. Yeah. Anyway, all right,
last question before we jump into the show because we're already
let's
at
do it.
25 minutes.
Oh shit, let's go. Let's go.
Um, who you got for the final in the World Cup?
I mean, come
Sunday at
on.
7 in the morning.
It's France. Absolutely. I think they're a juggernaut. As great
They
as
are.
Messi is, I just think France is a juggernaut, man. They just are so talented from top to bottom. I had a feeling they were going to beat England, because when I did the watch along, the first thing I said was England has got a bunch of great players at every position, but France has a better team. And I think the same thing. I thought the same thing when they beat Morocco. They slowly suffocated Morocco. It was like watching someone just kind of
Yeah,
choke
Morocco
out.
it was almost like watching us play our final game. You're getting pressure on, but you're
Yeah.
not getting any good shots on this.
No. Right, exactly.
They weren't as futile an effort as we were. Like we
Mm.
kept crossing it into no one. It's like, yeah, you're getting the ball in deep, but then you just blow,
Yeah.
or you take an unfounded kick into 4 defenders. It's like, yeah, technically that's a shot on goal.
Yeah, but it means nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a quality one.
And our
But
goal
I mean,
was a fluke. Our goal was a fluke and a half. So
yeah, a little bit. I hate that Mbappe plays on France because they've got like 10 dudes that need to be punched in the face.
They're French. That's kind of
I know, but they're like, it's that game against Morocco, man. They were jerked. Like they're up 2-0, and at one point there's a side out, and the guy grabs the ball and just starts like walking away with it to waste time. And you're like, dude, you're up 2. Fucking give him the ball. And then he throws it like behind him and then acts like, what? Like, what are you going to do about it? Like, oh, dude, somebody needs to punch this dude.
Yeah, but the
Is it
Argentinians are no
Giroud?
better. The Argentinians no better. They
Giroud?
went after the referee. They went after their.
I know that was weak.
Netherlands
I mean,
coach.
he did lose control of that game.
Yeah. Oh, the ref.
Yeah, he did. I liked him previously because the U.S. had him.
Yeah. He was a good ref for us.
Right. I thought it was. It's just like not
good,
getting heavy on the yellow cards, which we had faced in the previous game, and just like letting the guys play and taking kind of a hands-off approach. I appreciated that. He did let the game get away from him. But yeah, Messi and Argentina did complain and got that ref kicked out of the rest of the tournament.
Well, it was ridiculous because, Messi should have gotten a yellow card for that handball at midfield. And that son of a bitch Paredes should have been kicked out of the game for kicking the ball at the bench of the opposing team.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he did nothing for that. Nothing.
He got a yellow. That's it. That's an ejection.
He got a yellow for the foul before that, not even for the kick.
Yeah.
Because he fouled the guy before and then kicks the ball straight into the opponent's bench. And you're like, dude, this guy's going to be tossed. What is this?
This to me is like, what is happening here? And I think they should have ejected him from the game and suspended him for the tournament. Because you're essentially, yes, no one was sitting there because they'd all gotten up to protest the foul you had just done. But you kicking the ball, I mean, not even like in the direction in a somewhat of a softer kick as a kind of fuck with you. You lasered that ball at the bench, the opposing bench. And I think that's an act of aggression and attack, unwarranted. And so that should be a red card and he should have been gone for the tournament. So, and I was cheering for Argentina. So, it's just that happened, and I was like, and they're all bleeding that down from Messi because Messi is like, I'm gonna win the World Cup, and I just think France is gonna slowly kick the shit out of them as the game progresses.
I'm pulling for Argentina.
You are okay. We'll see what happens.
France just won.
Yeah,
and they're acting like dicks. They just won the last one. Spread the love around. I was pulling for the Croats or the Moroccans. Technically,
I see. If the Bears had won a second, would you be like, oh, you know what?
That's totally different because that's my team.
Oh, I see. So from the outside, you're like,
yeah, from the outside looking in, I would rather see somebody else win. None of these are my team. If it was the U.S., then yeah, I'd like to win every year. Who knows if that's ever going to happen in my lifetime? But
we'll see.
But yeah, I don't have a dog in the fight, so I'd just rather see something different. Plus,
that's fair. But I think they'll repeat. I just think, but I think
they look too strong.
Yeah, but it's going to be a hellacious game. Like I think as the time is starting to run out, if the Argentinians are losing, there's going to be some real rough fouls, some rough moments. They're going to try to unsettle the French mentally. I mean, because Holland coming back with those 2 goals, that fucked the Argentinians up mentally, man. Like they were.
Oh, dude, I thought the game was over. I thought they were going to win, like Holland.
Me too.
When they scored that last set, like with 30 seconds left in the game, it's like, oh, it's over. Because then they showed the benches at the close of regulation.
Yeah.
They're going banana times. Argentina is pissed. I mean, just pissed. And I was like, oh, this is over. But then that goalie made 2 fantastic saves.
Goalie was incredible. He mentally outfoxed them. and totally threw that shootout. So, all right. Well, anyway, we're here to talk about the top 10 films from old Hollywood in honor of Babylon. But we made a little bit of an adjustment here, right, Matt? What was the adjustment that you proposed? Please let the fans know.
Yeah, it's not quite old Hollywood, just older
Older
Hollywood.
Hollywood, yes.
In that, if a movie is made today, basically we just ask that it be set 3 decades or more earlier in its timeline of the movie itself.
Yeah.
So it could be shot today. Just give us something from a previous era. That way we could open up and have discussions about all kinds of different films, as opposed to things specifically set in like the 20s, 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
So that was it. Just let's just say we randomly selected 30 years because that seems like a safe enough distance.
Yeah.
Because anybody making that movie more than likely was either very young or not even born yet as they're doing this.
Yeah. It actually had me eliminate one of the ones that I thought was going to be on the list in the long run because it didn't fall into the 30-year window.
What was it?
Sunset Boulevard, because that is occurring in real time as it's being shot. And they're only referencing old Hollywood. It's not set in old Hollywood. So I had to kind of take that one off when I thought about it more. And I was like, oh, shit. Wow. So good little challenge.
Yeah, I've got one that's kind of skirting the line. I think
Of
it's
course.
like,
of course.
well, 29 years ish, something along those lines. Like it's
this was your rule, man. And I
because I don't think there's definitive
time.
I don't think there's definitive timelines technically in the movie.
Oh, okay. That helps.
So it's talking about it shot 30-ish years after they made the anyway, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
And I'll say this just to kind of preface a couple of choices on my list. Older Hollywood or old Hollywood does not mean only films. So I just want to make sure that's clear because Hollywood existed on TV and films. So that's
sure.
That's the point I was making. I was looking through. So
yeah. And I have one that might be questionable. If you want to kick it off, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Hey, I want to grab a Diet Coke. Can you tell people what the show's all about? And I'll be right back in like 10 seconds.
Sure. Excellent. Go for it. We set a topic like this one for Babylon. We go our separate ways and create individual top 10 lists. Show back up here. I do my bottom 3. He does his bottom 3. I do my next 2. He does his next 2. Then we trade one apiece. Once we have revealed our personal top 10 lists, we create these shows between the two of us. There we go. Oh, I got the full, what is that, like a 20 ouncer?
Yeah. I needed to live, man.
Yeah, that's, yep, nectar of the gods right there. I love Diet Coke, don't get me wrong, but just like the idea that I need to live by putting that shit in my body, those words never cross my mouth. I love Diet Coke, though.
Yeah, I gotta have it, man. I gotta have it.
I can't drink regular Coke now. It's too, I don't know, it's too sweet. It's too I like it. Yeah, I like the artificiality of the Diet Coke.
Yeah, I'm not like Kalinowski. He drinks 4 or 5 cans a day. He's out of control.
No, that's too much for me.
When he comes to Comic-Con, he brings 2 24 packs for himself, and he leaves one chilled overnight every night in ice. So he wakes up to a nice cold Diet Coke in the morning. Essentially, it's coffee.
Yeah, I was going to say, instead of having coffee in the morning, he has Diet Coke.
Yeah, he does. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, to each their own. I think that's a lot of Diet Coke.
It is.
It's a lot of fucking Diet Coke.
It is a lot of Diet Coke, for God's sake.
Yeah, every day, that can't be good for you. But at the same time, like if it works for him, you hear those stories like there's the guy that ate a Big Mac every day for 50 years or something.
Yeah.
And he lived until ripe old age of who knows how old, but old as shit. It's like, hey, look, if it works for your body, then so be it.
One of my friend's aunts, she's super skinny. She eats a gallon of ice cream a day.
Yeah.
And she's in her like late 60s. It's incredible. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's incredible. If it works for you, then
yeah.
Who am I to tell you that it doesn't? But I think that would crush me after a few years. Four or 5 cans a day.
I know. They're gonna crack him open one day, and it's just gonna be sugar crystals inside of his body. That's all. That was it.
Yeah,
That's it.
Calcium in his bones is replaced with aspartame. It's just.
It was a nice run, wasn't it, Cal? Yeah, man, it was a nice run. Anyway, yeah. So
they make those Kiss coffins and shit like that. We'll get them a Diet Coke one, and it looks like a can, and you can just open. Maybe it's a pull tab, and you slide them in, and then you close the pull tab, and you drop them into the ground.
Maybe every time it opens, it makes that sound.
That little, yeah, sure. Every time it opens, as if we open caskets a lot, like that's a common occurrence. That'd be fun though. At the wake, hey, you guys want to hear the sound again? Hold on. Mike doesn't give a shit. He loved this sound. Look at that. There he is. Yeah, he's still dead as shit. But anyway, this is fun.
I would do it all through the wake. I would do it all through the wake.
It sounds like a rejected Limp Bizkit song. Do it all through the wake. Come on, the wake. Come on.
Fred says even that's a line too far for him. What? Come on.
Well, now that he's an esteemed director, I understand.
Esteemed director. Yeah. Fred, remember chocolate starfish? We don't talk about chocolate starfish. Oh, okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
I can thankfully say that I've never heard anything outside of whatever's played on the radio. Never listened to an album. Never. Not sure that I'm friends with anybody that owned those albums. Thank God.
Well, not the albums, maybe.
Oh, anyway. Yeah. I knew people that enjoyed some of the songs. They were huge hits.
They were massive. They were massive.
Late 90s. Like that one that he did with the Method Man and Redman.
Oh, yeah.
That was a huge hit.
That's why I enjoyed that documentary they did on Woodstock 99, the one that was on Netflix, the 3-parter. Super intense documentary. And then they really go in on Limp Bizkit and the set they did and how it kind of like was the igniting, or what they call it?
The catalyst.
Yeah, the catalyst for them like turning everything and setting everything on fire. Because the organizers had told Limp Bizkit to turn it down, like to turn down the emotion and the hype and all of that, but they did quite the opposite. And Fred,
dude, we're Limp fucking Bizkit.
Yeah, exactly. So
we're here to crush.
Fascinating doc, though. I'd say that the HBO one was good, but it was only 90 minutes. This one was 6 hours. It really dove into all the stuff. So if you guys are into the Woodstock 99 stuff, it's definitely a good doc to watch. Anyway, let's get to the list. God damn it, with 37 minutes in the fucking movie. Do you want to just talk and then we'll just do our list? I don't know. What do you want to do? With 37 minutes into the show.
Is that what you want to do? Would you prefer to do that? I'm fine with that. That's fine. It's our holiday gift to ourselves.
Hey, I'm down with that.
All right, fair enough. We'll spend the last few minutes going over our list. We'll just shoot the shit. We are 37 minutes in.
I'm just saying. Or else we power through our lists. What do you feel like doing?
I'm indifferent to both. Okay. If we're going to continue down this talking path, throw a topic on the table. Otherwise, we should.
I don't know.
We should move on. I mean, I don't know how much more mileage we can get out of Kalinowski's Diet Coke coffin. We could also get him on the horn, see if he wants to join the stream, see if he'd be interested.
Shit, that would be hilarious.
I mean, I think we'd have to get on the phone now and start talking to Coke and see if they have a problem with this.
Oh, that's true.
Technically, I don't think they can stop you.
Is there a Diet Coke coffin that you can get? I don't think there is.
There's no way. There's no way there's a Diet Coke coffin.
Look, dude, we have NFTs now.
There's not. I'll bet my life on there is not a Diet Coke coffin. And if there is, then you can fucking bury me in it. Even though I'm going to be cremated.
Matt Knost. Matt Knost.
That's a specialty item that was made as a one-off. And plus, that's not a can. I was thinking can.
Oh, yeah, not bottle.
Not bottle.
For those of you who are listening on the podcast, I brought up a picture on Flickr of a specially made coffin that is in the shape of a Coca-Cola bottle.
Yeah.
And goddamn, if it doesn't look good, it works. It totally works.
What does it say? Custom coffin are made to comply with what?
Oh, where does it say that on there? Oh, okay. Yeah. Custom coffins are made to comply with the deceased specifications or orders. Here shown on display is a Coca-Cola bottle design available to all comers willing to pay for their order in Ghana. It says Ghana here. Emilio Labrador. So there you go. Yeah. Well, Coca-Cola coffin. Jesus.
Yeah. First off, I'm talking about American coffins.
Oh, okay? Sorry. I apologize. You're right. An American coffin.
I wonder if that's part of the culture, just having customized coffins like that.
Oh, I don't know. Who can afford to customize coffins in Ghana? Isn't Ghana like a tough place to exist? I don't know. Is
And I
it?
think they're pretty well off.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Here's the inside of it. As we're looking at it here. Yeah, there you go. Nice lining, nice purple lining, nice felt velvet inside. Oh, it all looks good, man. It's done and done. Pepsi's probably mad about this. Pepsi's probably mad about this. Get to it. So,
Like, you don't want to look up and see if there's a Pepsi coffin because,
oh my God, could there be a Pepsi coffin? I
I
prefer
mean,
Pepsi over Coke, so I don't mind getting buried.
not even close, dude. Pepsi's gross.
Oh, you're insane.
Pepsi is gross. And Diet Pepsi is absolutely disgusting.
Now, Diet Pepsi, yes, I agree with you. Diet Pepsi is a no-go. I agree, but I do like
Yeah.
Pepsi over Coke, straight up.
They just add like 10 times more artificial sweeteners than everybody else to try and replicate their sweetness of the drink itself. But Coke is, even though I don't drink either, I never liked Pepsi as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also too, I grew up on Coke. So it does
Yes, right.
alter, you know,
Hmm.
but when new stuff gets introduced, like I'm still a Mountain Dew fan to this day, and that's a Pepsi product.
Yeah, true. Oh, I can't do
And
Mountain Dew at all. Fuck.
Mellow Yellow is gross.
It's like drinking melted sugar.
Dude, you
No.
gotta get hip to the diet Mountain Dew. It's the shit.
Oh my God. I
It's
found the
so
perfect.
good.
This is one I'm going to bury you in. Not that I'll have a say, but I mean, the Nike coffin, because your obsession with shoes, it's a perfect.
I love my obsession with shoes. I've never once brought up shoes. It's always you bringing up the shoes. I've never once started a discussion with, you know what new sneakers I bought or what release I'm excited for.
Look at these
I,
kicks.
I actually haven't bought a new pair of shoes in technically like 2 years.
Really? Holy shit, man.
Just I don't need anymore.
That's fair. That's fair.
I've got plenty. I've technically bought a pair of everyday shoes,
Oh, yeah.
but
Okay. Okay.
my last pair of everyday shoes lasted 7 years and then they're just toast. So I finally just got a replacement pair of everyday shoes.
I think the worst that happened to me was that I found out that one of my girlfriend's my like I said, my girlfriend's cousin's wife works for Nike, and she gets me 50% off whatever I want. So if I'm like flipping around and I see a Nike pair of Nikes I like, but I had to stop. I bought 6 pairs over the last year and a half, and so I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not buying anymore. That's enough because I don't even wear all 6 all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you, I've got the everyday Nikes that are reserved for the drive to the mall or drive to the Target or whatever. Those are the Nikes. Then I've got the walk, the hiking Nikes,
Mm-hmm.
the working out Nikes, the wear with my jeans to go out red Nikes. I got my Florida State Nikes.
Sure.
And then I've got a nice a nice white and blue combo that I wear for the.
You seem like an Air Max 270 guy. You got any Air Max 270s?
I don't know. Those are outlandish. Those are outlandish.
How are those outlandish?
Air Max 270s? Aren't those big ones that are like with the massive ankle ones?
No, I don't even know what you're
Those are
describing.
nice. No, I don't like because I'm not a fan of the air in the heel in the
The big
bottom.
I don't I'm not a fan of the Air Max.
Yeah,
270 is a marriage between not going full Air Max and
that's true.
so you got the regular Phylon midsole or whatever the front is, and
Yeah,
then you have the 270 degrees of Air Max around it. I'm not. I don't like the style of them. I've never bought them, but I know a few people that are big into them.
I have the 39s. That's the new one that's out. The Air Max 30. Is it Air Max 39? I can't remember what it's called, but those are the ones I bought.
39. Put it up on the screen.
No, but like I feel bad because our podcast listeners are probably like, "What the fuck? We can't join along." Pegasus 39s. That's what.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I
Sure.
like my Pegasus. Wow, they've dropped the prices on these the big time. Holy fuck. Oh wow. I mean, I got them still cheaper with her, but like they've dropped the prices mad. Like they usually $130. But now they're at like 70 something here. Let me bring it up.
Yeah, it means they're not selling.
It must be, right? Like this nice red pair. I like this red one. If it comes up here. Yeah, I like this.
Mhm.
This is a pretty cool red. But the one I have this one. And I don't know if I've got and the blue one, which is nice. So I have those two to enjoy for some of the stuff I wear. But yeah. But there you go. Anyway, why are we on this, man? This is not a subject that's interesting to people. Do you think? I don't.
Well, because you started with coffins, and then
sorry about that.
we segued into
Your Nike coffin.
Into this. What about you with Cavill? Because you never gave your opinion.
Oh yeah.
Do you think he goes back to The Witcher?
I think it's possible. I said that I posted my video today about it. I did a live video for like an hour last night as we're recording this. And then I cut down the hour to about 11 minutes because people like sometimes don't want to sit there and watch an hour of stuff. And put it up. And I said that as I was editing, I just, because sometimes you go live, you start talking, you don't remember the things you say. So I was cutting it, and I said that I was talking about The Witcher, and I'm like, if I was Liam Hemsworth, I would be looking over my shoulder because there's a real possibility that they just go, you know what, Liam?
Exactly. We haven't shot anything yet. The fans really love Cavill.
Yeah.
He is wide open now. We might even be able to do like a season plus a movie.
Yeah.
Or something.
Oh, yeah. Good point. A movie too. Yes.
Yeah. Throw it out there.
Movies probably. Yeah.
Exactly. He has enough appeal that we could get this up off the ground and maybe do some box office numbers doing a Witcher movie.
Whereas Liam was going to be a caretaker for that role at best, because I'm sorry, but you don't compare. Liam is a fine actor. I liked him. I like him as an actor, but he don't compare to Cavill. Cavill's presence and energy. It's a whole nother ballgame. So if I was Liam, I'd be, calling the executive producer, go, hey, are we still cool? Like,
oh yeah,
doing for Christmas? Want to come over?
Yeah, pull the levy. Are we gonna be fucking friends or not?
Yes.
Because I'm willing to take a flamethrower to this friendship. Okay, easy there, guy. Easy there, guy.
He could be like what's his face? Jay Leno putting the glass to the wall to hear.
Yeah. From the Late Shift.
Show. Yeah, the Late Shift.
God, that movie is good.
Oh, dude, I know they bash it, but I love that movie. That movie is
Leno and Letterman? Of course they do.
Leno and Letterman.
Yeah.
They all say it's bullshit, but I don't think it is.
Well, I think Letterman is closer to real life.
Yeah.
Jay is still caricature.
Yeah. Setting his face on fire. The son of a bitch. Poor guy.
Yeah. But thankfully, he's out and doing seemingly well. I saw pictures of him on his release from the hospital. So
I never hear anything negative about him, Matt. Like never. I mean, people bash his jokes. He steals jokes or whatever, or he's like a safe comic, but motherfucker works. And like the fact that he was performing the show and then flying out to do stand-up. And you might say to yourself, if you're up and coming person, like, the fuck, he's taking the spot or he's pushing me
He's
back.
not taking a spot.
But
he's not.
Jay, Yeah.
What he's doing, you wouldn't have access to. So he's not taking a spot.
Oh, wow. Okay. Right. I see what you're saying. Because he's essentially headlining. So yeah.
Well, he's not. It's just like if he's doing now, when he does comedy and magic here in town quite a bit.
Oh, really?
Hermosa Beach.
Still. Okay.
I don't know about still, but when he had like his show, he'd go down to Comedy Magic. Technically, you could say, well, he's taking a spot there, but in reality, he's not, because if he's not there, then the club's lesser for it. So you're lucky to be on the show with him. And then every once in a while, he'd pop in at the Improv. But yeah, I mean, he was a store guy for a long time, but I'm pretty sure he's persona non grata there for the past like 30 some odd years. Well, he crossed Mitzi during the strikes. You can read a book about it called I'm Dying Up Here if you really want to.
Okay. Is that what the show was based on?
Kind of.
Okay.
A little bit. They took inspiration from it, but it was centered around like there's a guy that killed himself, jumped off the Andaz, what is now the Andaz, because he no longer was getting spots. But there was a strike because she was basically not paying anybody. And everybody's like, look at this. The showroom was full every night.
Yeah.
We know you're doing incredible numbers. You're telling me you can't give all the comics a couple bucks. And her rationale was, well, this is basically a school for you, and you go make your money on the road once you've gotten your, you've earned your degree, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which I can understand what she's saying. I still think it's a fallacy.
Yeah.
But then comics struck against her, and then some comics crossed the line and others didn't. But those that were part of the strike, she held a grudge against the vast majority of them. Some she came back to over time, like Letterman and a couple other guys, but a bunch she was just like, you're dead to me.
Wow.
And I don't ever want to fucking see you again. And you're like, dude, all over paying comics a total of $200 a night. Like, not each person gets 200, splitting like $200
Right.
for all the comics. They're all getting like $20 a set or $15 a set. It's like, that's really you're generating thousands of dollars you can't shell out anything for. But yeah. So anyway, Leno's not taking spots. I think guys don't like him for various reasons, but yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be a relatively nice guy.
Yeah, I think it's all jealousy, right? Because he doesn't. If he's a relatively nice guy, then what's not to like? But people get mad. It's a tough. I mean, I can't imagine. Like, you're in it. I can't imagine the swings of all of that. Because you just never know who's going to be the one that kind of ascends out of nowhere, and so it just seems it's like kind of crazy to navigate all of that with the comics. So
I mean, the ones that make it to the upper tier, most of them are justified. Every once again, there's one where like, I still don't get it. I don't understand. But the vast majority that make it to household name-ish, they're genuinely funny. Even if you don't like them, it's impossible to deny.
But there's so many now that get the specials on Netflix. And
it's rendered it meaningless.
Yeah, because it used to be that's how you disseminated who are the ones I needed to be aware of. Yeah. Now it's like everybody gets a fucking special. So
and technically, an Amazon special means even less because anyone can technically put an Amazon special up.
It's true.
Yeah. Now, there are some that Amazon has branded and whatnot.
Yeah, like Jimmy Yang or whatever. Or
Jimmy O Yang, yeah.
Jimmy O Yang, yeah.
Yeah, they, they're big investors in Jimmy O Yang's.
Yeah, yeah.
In that, like, they recommend him.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. I know to numerous people. Yeah. But yeah, anybody can, when someone tells me like, oh, I got a special up on Amazon, it's like, I don't know, that could mean something, and it more than likely could mean nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you'd be better off too putting it on YouTube.
Right. Much more exposure there.
Yeah. You just have anybody can access that, whereas Amazon, you need to be a member. Not to say that tons of people aren't members, but then you got to search it out, and I don't know. I think it's just YouTube is more shareable, and it's a better avenue where Amazon. Yeah. I don't know.
Did you go to Ellis's thing the other day?
I was hacking up along. There was no way I was.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I was too, like it would come in spurts.
Yeah.
So Thursday, I wouldn't have been able to, like last Thursday, I wouldn't have been able to record. We would have been talking, and I would have had to go mute for 30 seconds to 2 minutes as I coughed, and then come back and talk for who knows how long.
Yeah.
Friday, I was up and down. Saturday, I was down. Sunday, I was getting better. It's like, it's been a roller coaster of.
Damn. Yeah. Sorry about that.
But I mean, don't have a fever, didn't have nasal congestion, but just when coughing fits would start, they're here for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's nothing I could do about it.
Yeah. How you feeling about your Bulls there, buddy boy? It's not looking good.
I don't know what we should do.
Matt had so much hope for this team at the beginning of the season, and they started out seemed like well.
Well, I thought legitimately we could be roughly what we were last year.
Yeah.
And we just look like we're a fucking mess.
Watching
games, man.
It's Donovan? Do you think it's just the assembly of players? What do you think it is?
I think not having Lonzo hurts us on the defensive side.
Yeah, for sure.
Plus, we're not a 3-point shooting team, which last year didn't hurt us, and this year is. But this should be the expected return of a team that doesn't shoot threes in the modern NBA, and last year was kind of anomalous. So I think, sad as it is kind of par for the course. The worst part is there's already talks about extending Vooch, and I just don't understand that unless you're worried about losing the asset. But I don't know anybody that's willing to trade anything of merit for him.
Right.
So in this instance, yes, I agree more often than not with a team saying, well, we don't want to lose the asset. I don't know how much of an asset there is here.
Yeah.
So if we could get anything for him, I would do that. I am at this point just staring at it going, as much as I don't want to say it, I think we should blow it up.
Wow.
We have a top 4 protected pick that we're going to lose to Orlando.
Yeah.
So if we got Wembanyama or Scoot, well, suddenly we're a completely different team. I just don't think anybody's taken Zach LaVine off of our hands.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could easily find a suitor for DeRozan. I think we could easily find a suitor for Caruso. potentially Vooch if we package Vooch with somebody else. Like a lot of people are saying, oh, Lakers 2 unprotecteds plus Westbrook for Vooch and DeRozan. I don't know if the Lakers do that, to be perfectly honest at this point.
Yeah.
Just because Westbrook's been playing well for him, and they're really hesitant to trade both those first. But I would do that, even though the return on that is 5 and 7 years away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But with Vooch coming up out of contract and then DeRozan under a good contract, I think you get something for him. And then Caruso has a ton of trade value. I just don't know how great a return you get, but we would have 10 teams interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Levine, I don't think anybody touches him just because of his contract.
It's a monster contract.
It is, and his knee issues look like
right.
potentially they could be long term. Just he can play a couple games, then need to sit, and at his price point, that's a difficult pill to swallow. But hopefully, it's just a 1 year anomaly. I don't know though. I could see this front office sitting pat and not blowing up just because they've invested so much into this.
Yeah, yeah.
And the last front office had decades.
Right.
So maybe give these guys a little bit of time. But
the Garpax guys.
The Garpax situation. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Because we don't look good. You guys don't look good.
No, we don't, dude. Please. I almost bought the league pass because they had it 50% off for Black Friday. I was so close, but I was like, man, do I want to watch them lose every night? Like, why should I get this? It doesn't make any sense. But I mean, I was so close, dude. I think if the Wizards had been in a better position and were kind of making a little bit of a run, I think I would have considered it, but not now. They're just not that good. It's horrible. The irony is that, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, no, please. The irony is what?
The irony is they're, around here in Southern California, they're making such a big deal about the Lakers bouncing back. They're 11. They're the same record.
Oh, no, they're terrible.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. What was all this hype about that LeBron's winning a few games with Anthony Davis? Like, they're 11-16. They're 5-5 over their last 10. So what are we crowing about here? It's just kind of hilarious.
And those wins were against the Spurs, who are actively tanking.
Yeah.
And they got, and I'm not trying to denigrate the Lakers, but they got the luck of the draw on schedule. Plus, if they were playing a team, that team had stars out. So then when they're playing stars like Boston, looked like they might actually beat him, and then Boston beats him in overtime.
Yeah.
I think it's more of that, just because you don't have any shooters.
Yeah.
And your defense can be exceedingly porous. And that is going to be a recipe for mediocrity. They're sitting at 12th, but
yeah,
who knows? Curry looks like he might be out for a little while. So the Warriors are game under 500. I think they're 14-15. So they might tread water. And if the Lakers won a couple, maybe they could catch up. But I went through actually the entire Lakers schedule, and assuming LeBron and AD play every game from here on, which is a hell of an assumption. Yeah. I think they end up 500 through the rest of the year. So I think they end up 4 or 5 games under 500 by the end, roughly where they're at now. I went through and I was like, all right, so they take this one, lose this one. I just went through and just kept tally.
Yeah.
I was like, nope, I see them ending up 4 or 5 games under 500 if LeBron and AD play every game.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking if.
That is a big if, right? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look at and they had won 8 of 10 games there, and now they've just lost 8 of 10 games. So it's like,
yeah, and go look at the opponents on that 8 of 10.
Right,
it's fully suspect. Yeah, and I think Beal might have been missing on that game.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, we beat you guys without Beal. We crushed the Mavericks without Doncic. And be like, well, yeah, of course we crushed the Mavericks without Doncic.
Yeah, whatever, man. It sucks. I hate that we keep tying Beal to this fucking anchor of a franchise, man. I just feel bad. Like, get the fuck out. I don't know why you stick around. Like, get the fuck out, man.
Now you gotta shop Beal and Kuzma.
Yeah, Kuzma's
got value. Because I think his contract is like 14, 13, something like that, which is dirt cheap for a guy that does what he does.
Yeah. I mean, Monty Morris.
He's got value. You get something for him.
Yeah, Porzingis. Taj is on the fucking team. Taj, for God's sake.
I like Taj. I've always had a soft spot for Taj.
Yeah, but Taj is like 900 years old, dude.
He is. But his game when he came into the league was 900 years old.
I loved Taj when he was with the Bulls playing. He was a good player, man. You're right about that. You're right about that.
But he was never like super athletic. It was always
Yeah.
grit and grind type of player.
Yeah.
Which
It was
still can function
yeah,
for. I don't think he has much trade value or anything, but
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
he's not like a full on lead weight pulling you guys down.
No.
Hey, why don't we do ourselves a favor? Take a quick break right here,
Oh, yeah.
and then we'll be back right after this with more bullshitting. All right, there we go.
All right.
Added that in.
Your turn to throw a topic in. Unless you want to get to our list now and do the last 30 minutes on the list.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay. Sounds good.
A little compromise, because I'm
All
sure
right.
people aren't going to be happy with with today's bullshit session.
Come on, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas. It is Christmas. All right, so it was older Hollywood.
Older Hollywood, yes.
So at 10, I've got Shadow of the Vampire.
Oh, right. Shit. I didn't even think about that one. Fuck, that's a great choice, dude. Yeah.
Which
Willem
is
Dafoe. Nice choice.
basically like a making of Nosferatu, but if Nosferatu is real, like the actual vampire itself, who's played by Willem Dafoe, and the Malkovich is the insane director. I mean, it's basically an indictment of Hollywood itself.
Yeah.
Because spoiler, Nosferatu kills some people. And the director just keeps going like, we got to get the shot. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You're all collateral damage for this film and the mania of all of it around it. And nobody knows that he's a vampire until much later on.
Yeah.
So they all think he's just some amazing, committed method actor, which is great too.
Yeah.
But you got a solid cast, Defoe, Malkovich, Eddie Izzard.
Yes.
In a nice role.
Yeah.
I'd have to look up the cast beyond that. Those are the first three that jump to mind off the top of my head.
Who's the girl? Do you remember who the girl is?
Don't. That's who I was trying to think of as I
was it German actress?
Yeah, guesses?
Was it the German actress? The one that
it is not a German actress.
Downfall? No? Okay.
Let me look up. She might have been in Downfall. I highly doubt it.
No, Catherine McCormack.
Yeah.
So she's from Braveheart, right?
Yeah, she's from Braveheart. That is
right.
Greta is the main female lead.
Carrie Elwes is in this? Wow. I forgot about that.
Yes, as the dashing lead. Playing a hero, and it's not much of a hero in real life.
Malkovich is great in the film, though. He's absolutely great in the film as the director.
Well, it just that he's lying to everyone the whole time about the entire situation.
Yeah.
And he plays the mania of someone just so obsessed with getting the outcome they want.
Right.
But yeah, Shadow of the Vampire. That's my number 10.
Nice. What's your 9?
My 9 is The Aviator.
Oh, punt. That's a punt.
All right. Fair enough.
What's your 8?
8 is Mank.
That's a punt. Fucking 8. What's wrong with you?
Nah.
All right.
How often are you going to go back and rewatch Mank?
I've seen it 3 times now, dude. I love Mank.
No,
it's
you
Citizen Kane. It's because of Citizen Kane. That's why.
You value your time a little bit less than I do, and that's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. My number 10 is Ed Wood.
That's a punt, dude. Do you like movies? Do you enjoy going to movies and watching movies?
Not shitty ones that he makes in the film.
Excellent ones.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. And then my number 9 is Chaplin.
Oh, I didn't even think about Chaplin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
That one got on the list late, and I was like, "Oh, right, Chaplin." So yeah, love this movie. Downey Jr. is great in the film, and the film itself it's a little dated when you watch it, but for me, it holds up because I have the nostalgia of how much I enjoyed it and how much I was like championing Robert Downey Jr. as an actor, even though this was, I think, during the substance abuse years. I just was always like, God, can he? When does he, break out? And how is this guy who was on SNL and played the jerk in those 1980s movies? How is he playing Chaplin? So, it was that time where Tom Hanks was doing serious movies. So it was cool to see Downey Jr. doing that. And I think it's a pretty expansive film. It's a hell of a cast all across the board for it. And I think it still holds up, and him and Hopkins have some nice chemistry as he's the older Chaplin having the conversation with him. So. But yeah.
Yeah, I never thought he'd be able to pull it off. And then you see it and you're like, boy, he's pulling off Chaplin.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, like, where the fuck is that guy? Let's Let's find that guy, for God's sakes. And then my number 8 is Being the Ricardos.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Yeah, I liked this movie. I think it got a little bit. People are like, "Oh, it's a Prime movie and a Prime Video movie," and I'm just like, "It's still good. It's still very well directed." Really enjoyed Nicole. And look, I went in. I was like, "She's not fucking Lucy," and I went. I was like, "She really embodied Lucy." And I thought Javier Bardem also doesn't look a damn thing like Ricky Ricardo sorry, Desi Arnaz, and he was
No, he
great
doesn't.
as Desi Arnaz and Ricky Ricardo and doing the scenes.
Yeah, that was the tougher stretch for me.
Yeah, yeah. And then J.K. Simmons was great as Fred,
Mhm.
the character, the actor William Frawley, I think the actor's name is, and then the woman who played Ethel, she was great as well. There was some real dialogue, emotional stuff going on, but also like some harsh truths about Hollywood. As you know, pro woman or pro diversity you can be, there's still some harsh truths about how someone has to shine more than the other, how someone one has to watch their weight, one doesn't, one has to worry about money, all these kinds of things, cheating, what's the truth, what's not the truth, fudging some stuff from your past like happened in old Hollywood. And so I thought they tackled all of that really well in this movie. And I just think a lot of people didn't give it a chance, and it's very enjoyable. It's a brisk film. Like you're in and out before you know it in a film like this. So
Very true.
yeah. Yeah. All right, what's your 7?
My 7 is Singing in the Rain.
Ooh,
So this is the one. Okay, that's the one where I'm like, they shot it in the 50s. It's about the transition.
makes the cut. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's like could be 28 years, could be 32 years. I don't think there's a definitive timeline in that one.
Right. Agreed. What's your 6?
My 6 is here's the one. If you want to take issue, that's fine.
Okay.
The Nice Guys, because it's set in Hollywood, but they go to that producer's party.
No, it's 70s, dude. This is 2022. So
yeah. It's just how much Hollywood is it? Because it's about a porn actress, but at the same time, like they're trying to make a film that exposes, and then there's the Hollywood party scene that gets tied into it, and there's this weird crossing. To me, that was more than like Boogie Nights, because Boogie Nights is the Valley, and that's totally different.
Right. And that's not fucking Hollywood. That's porn. That's a different situation. In my opinion. Yeah.
Well, and also it's like that's the Valley. That's the Valley's movie. That is not Hollywood's movie. Whereas Nice Guys, it's set in Hollywood. They're dancing around. Like it's I think it's skirting the line.
Right.
So if you or anybody else was like, I don't think that really counts, be like, yeah, I would hear an argument against.
No, because it's set in the 70s and the film was made in the 2015 or something. So yeah, I think it still counts, or 2018, whatever it was. So I think it totally counts. So it's
fine. Just they have a little bit of the porny element as well.
Oh yeah, but that's only when they go to the
I'm just saying, like
parties.
the film that they're trying to hunt down that exposes the underbelly of big auto in this country is a porn film, but it's also one that they have laced with the actual things that Detroit is trying to do to bury certain upgrades to, it's like anti-smog, but they didn't want to pay for upgrading their cars to take care of that stuff. So it's that laced in there, but then they go like it's the talk of the town. It's almost more like the Green Door, that one
behind the Green Door.
Behind the Green Door. That elevated above, that people looked at it as it's a film that has sex in it.
Yeah.
As opposed to movies that just got made purely for the sex.
Yeah.
At least that's according to the movie that I saw with the Estevez brothers, but the Estevez / Sheen combo. Surprisingly good movie.
Yeah.
I like them as a duo after Men at Work. I'm a fan.
Okay.
But the chemistry between Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling, I wish this thing had done well enough to where we could have a follow-up, because this is an amazing buddy cop.
This is where Shane Black exists best.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff. No, I mean, his Iron Man 3 is okay, and certainly some people hate it.
Yeah, but you got Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
That's what I'm saying. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Nice Guys. This is where he exists best, in the smaller stuff with two dudes and a female lead trying to figure out a situation. And he's great. I mean, he's great when he directs those smaller stuff. His script gets to shine. It makes sense for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't push himself. And I think like his Predator was god awful, and so I was like, okay,
Oh,
stop, no,
yeah.
no more studio money for you.
It's so
Focus on the
stupid.
small shit. Yeah,
I hated that movie.
I know it's horrific, man.
It was
Horrific.
so bad.
Yeah, it's like what
Um,
the fuck? What you're having a woman wake up in a room full of dudes with weapons? Like, you think this is fucking what? What are you doing? Like, it just was so weird.
oh, I hated it just because it's like, it's fucking more badass than a predator, a fucking super predator. Like, that's really the idea. That's the idea.
I
It's
want to see the
Star
pitch.
Killer base. Like, we're okay. That's what we're doing. All right.
Pitch. That's the pitch.
Yeah. Whereas, yeah, Star Killer, I was actually okay with,
Yeah.
and still am.
All right. Where are we at? That was your
That was
six?
my 6. What do you
Okay.
got?
So my 7 is my favorite year.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, I love this movie. So one of my favorite 1980s staples. It's a nostalgic film. This one's set back in the Sid Caesar days, your show of show days, with Mark Lynn Baker from Perfect Strangers, having to take care of Peter O'Toole, who's playing essentially like an Errol Flynn actor who is now like down on his luck. He's doesn't have a good relationship with his daughter. He's drunk. But he was a hero of this guy, Mark Lynn Baker, growing up. So they assign him to take care of this guy for the whole week while he is supposed to be showing up and doing the sketches and all of that for the show. Meanwhile, the guy who is in charge of the show, played by Joseph Bologna,
Mm-hmm.
he's run afoul of one of the local mob guy legitimately. So he is being now tracked, and he's nervous that he might get killed during the show. So add to his paranoia already, that he already has as a performer, that everybody's always trying to take something. Then you add on the fact that there's a legitimate mob crew coming after him. And then you throw in a drunken or washed up actor who wants to still capture his old days. It's a very fun and sweet and well-written movie. And I love it. And it's set back in the 50s, as I said, and it came out in the 1980s. So it qualifies. And I had to put it on my list because I just love the movie so much. And if you guys have never seen it, trust me, if you like old nostalgic 80s films, give it a shot. I think you'll like it for sure. All right. So then my number 6 is the punt from earlier, The Aviator.
Okay. So not too much of a punt,
No,
but a little
no.
bit of a punt.
It was, again, another late edition. Like, I was just kind of rolling through people's lists on IMDb and stuff like, have I forgotten anything?
Mm-hmm.
And I say, oh shit, totally. The Aviator is fucking good and should qualify for the top 10 list. So yeah, good movie, right? I mean, like, this is not DiCaprio quite.
Yeah, I wish he would do it. Wish he'd done it like 5-6 years later.
100% agree with you. It's
Yeah.
like Cruise in Born on the 4th of July. I know people nominated him, and I think Cruise doing that movie 5 years later fucking nails it. Magnolia Cruise nails Ron Kovic. And I think the same thing here. I think you're absolutely right. DiCaprio 5 years later would have killed this Howard.
Yeah. He's not quite there for me.
He's still
in a
missing
role
the
like
cutoff,
this.
man.
Yeah, precisely. But I love it for its ambition.
Yeah.
Like Scorsese really went for it
Mm-hmm.
because it's a hell of a story to tell. Anyway, Howard Hughes' life almost doesn't make sense.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
It's just when you look at it, it's like at 22, he's shooting, producing, and directing and shooting films that he's financing.
Yeah.
And then gets into airlines and then has a full-on fight with the U.S. government and another airline because they're aligned. It's not full U.S. government, but you know what I mean. It's a senator aligned with another airline.
Yeah.
This is all true story.
Yeah.
And that's where it cuts off. Like after he flies the Spruce Goose and then basically proving that he wasn't just stealing money from the government.
Yeah.
That's what, and Howard Hughes' life continues to be strange.
Yeah.
Or unique. Let's put it that way. Thereafter, because he becomes a shut-in, a recluse all over again.
There's all kinds of legendary stories about him too during the back half of his life.
Yeah, when he was living in Vegas.
Yeah, all kinds of people claim that they like ran into him and had a night with him, or met him out in the weird place somewhere and had a whole like kind of interaction with him. So yeah, there's all of that kind of stuff for him.
But then you look at him as the young guy and just
Dude,
He dates Hepburn. He
yeah.
dates, like,
He-
it's crazy.
yeah.
The murderer's row of Hollywood starlets and be like,
Ava
yeah, let's do.
Gardner.
And then who did Gwen Stefani play?
Was that Carol Lombard or Myrna Loy? One of the two. I'm trying to
I don't
think.
think it was
No,
either of those
neither
two.
one of those. Oh, okay. Let me look it up real quick. I know. I thought it was Carol Lombard. You're right. Maybe it's somebody else. Yeah. Kate Blanchett plays Katharine Hepburn. Right. She won the Oscar for that. That's right.
Yeah, she plays
Okay.
Jean Harlow.
Jean Harlow. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Ava Gardner, Jean Harlow. It's like it's bananas.
Yeah. It's a great crew of actors. I mean, whatever you feel about Baldwin, he's fantastic in the movie.
Oh, he's great in the movie.
Yeah. Right.
Are you saying as a person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riley's
as a
good.
producer, I'm not a fan. But him in this movie,
No one should be a fan of him as a producer, for God's sake. Yeah. Hello. John C. Reilly's good as well. I love John C. Reilly, so he's good in the movie. Kind of like his right-hand man, right? In the movie.
yeah, he ends up taking over the day-to-day operations of the airline and all that stuff as Hughes becomes consumed with like getting the Spruce Goose off the ground, and stuff like that.
And that guy who plays his competitor. Oh no, he works for him, but then I think he becomes his competitor. Matt Ross, the guy who plays in Silicon Valley, the guy who runs the company that they're always going up against. He's good in the movie as well.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, just a couple years later, and I think DiCaprio crushes this and gets his first Oscar.
100% agree with you, man. 100%. All right, so we're getting into our fives. What's your five?
My five was one off your text, which I hadn't thought of, which is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yes, that is my five. Yes, absolutely.
A fantastic movie.
Mm-hmm.
Still kind of surprised that they haven't had any kind of reboot or update of that of all things, because it just seems like a no-brainer project if Disney's going to keep doing this.
Totally true.
Which I don't know if you're watching Willow, but I'm only 2 in, and it's a slog through 2 so far.
I heard the most recent one is better, but yeah, it's a slog.
Yeah. I think I've seen 3.
Oh yeah, the third episode was not that good. That was a tough watch.
I haven't yet seen the newest. I think I might be out, even if the 4th is good. It's just like this has been. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting the moon. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But not this.
But a star, maybe a star, not the moon, but maybe a star. Maybe a star.
I don't know. A compelling character, someone I can root for.
You like the blonde actress in The Matrix? Not this way. Not like this.
Not like this. Yeah, obviously they're setting up a Laura Dannon for that, but so far through 3, I'm. I mean, the first 2 are just basically spinning its wheels, and the third one is getting a little bit of traction, but still, it's like I don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious. I'll wait for the rest of it to come out, and then if people are like, "It ends great," okay, I'll pick it back up.
Yeah. But yeah, Who Framed is so good. I mean, Bob Hoskins. Once again, I mean, Bob Hoskins is way more versatile than people give him credit for as an actor, and he's so good here and as Eddie Valiant, and the back and forth with working with an animated character. I mean, it's so well done, and then the Kathleen Turner aspect of it all, and Christopher Lloyd is so good, and the story itself. This idea that this guy wants to, in essence, kill cartoons, kill animation, kill fun, kill joy, and is willing to do it. A true villain who's willing to kind of try to kill joy. So,
yeah, well,
a lot more darker than you think. A lot more darker.
Well, he's the worst because he's betraying himself.
Right, exactly. So this film works on a number of levels, really, honestly, if you were to sit down and analyze it.
It's nice and dark, too, for a kid's movie.
Yeah. All right, what's your 4?
My number 4 is Barton Fink, which I don't think made your list.
It never will make any list of mine. Go ahead.
I mean,
I'm not trying to take a shot. I'm just saying.
It's Coen Brothers.
Yes. True.
It's a very interesting. It's one of the ones where I think you get rewarded for watching it more than once.
Okay.
Which I still need to convince myself to do for Hail Caesar.
Oof.
I have gone back for scenes in Hail Caesar, but I haven't gone back to sit down from point A and go all the way through.
I only watched the Clooney scenes in Caesar.
I like the Clooney scenes. I like the Ray Fiennes scenes. I
Oh,
like,
right. I do occasionally watch. That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
him as the director.
What
It's
if it were?
yeah, I would that it were. I would that it were. But it's getting that the star foisted upon him, and there's nothing he can do about it because he's a studio director
Oh, so good.
and he's doing a hoity-toity period piece. I don't even know if I'd call it a period piece. I guess it's more of the time, given
Yeah,
when the film is set.
probably.
Um,
But
yeah, I go back for those very specifically.
yeah.
The Channing Tatum, Scarlett Johansson stuff I would cut.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I like Josh Brolin as the no nonsense studio
He's
head.
actually good, and so's Tilda. Him and Tilda do a
Yeah,
nice job when they're going back and forth. I agree. There's a real nice, like you're watching a tennis match with those two. It's really good. You're right.
yeah.
Just
I don't know.
yeah, just
I
the
like
overall
the Coens,
construct of the work. Yeah.
but Barton Fink, excellent casting.
Mm,
Leguizamo and Goodman have the biggest parts. And then you got like a John Mahoney, and I don't know. In essence, he's
Totoro.
Totoro. Thank you. I think it just said Leguizamo, didn't
Yeah,
it?
I was just gonna say I don't remember
Yeah.
Leguizamo in the movie,
No,
so
no,
you
no. It's
had me thrown
Totoro.
off.
So Totoro is like this acclaimed playwright, and then decides Hollywood offers him a boatload of money to come out here
Yeah,
and write movies, and he comes out here and he's just struggling to accomplish it. And meanwhile, he's staying in a hotel, and
yeah,
his neighbor is awfully chummy. And the interaction between the two of them and him as he reaches out to Mahoney, because Mahoney is also a former acclaimed playwright who came out to Hollywood to write movies and whatnot. But it's the back and forth with Goodman and then the twist at the end of that I think just sucks me in, because that's an instance where it's like, okay, what, from the very first time I saw it, I was like, what are they trying to tell me here?
yeah,
What is this a metaphor or an allegory for? I don't know. And then you watch it a second time, you're like, okay, well, it could be these things. And
yeah.
you watch it a third, and I think it's very rewatchable for me. Not as much as other Coens,
Right,
but
right.
Coens still have a general ability to get me to rewatch their movies quite a bit.
I've come to the conclusion that every John Goodman character is actually related to every other John Goodman character in the Coen Brothers universe. It's kind of like with Gary Sinise when, like in Forrest Gump, when you're seeing the different generations of his family die in different wars.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that way about John Goodman in the Coen universe. Like the Barton Fink guy is
I'd say
maybe the guy who's the dad of the guy in um
I'd say he's close to the Oh Brother
Oh Brother.
Bible
Yeah.
salesman.
Yeah.
They're very similar.
And then like 2 generations down is the dude in Raising Arizona. You know, it's like I feel like they're all kind of related in a certain way. Like it's a whole lineage. Like all
Could
those
be.
John Goodman characters. In my mind, it's all just, in my mind how I look at it, because there's such outlandish characters in every single one of the films that he's. Oh, and then the Lebowski guy, right?
Yeah.
And the Lebowski guy. Shit, I forgot about the Lebowski guy.
That's where I thought you were getting to eventually.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. The Lebowski guy is a part of this too. So maybe the Lebowski guy, yeah, because I mean, Raising Arizona's 80s, Lebowski's 90s. Maybe they're fucking twins. I don't know. It's an interesting idea though. I was messing around with it the other day, thinking I could make it work. Anyway, yeah. You know what? I will make myself see that film again, because I mean, it's been so long that maybe there are things that didn't work for me when I saw it way back when that now would actually appeal to me. Having lived in Hollywood, having been a part of this, having been a part of that crazy town for so long, maybe there's elements of it that actually would work much better for me now. So I don't know.
Well, in your Pepsi coffin, we'll just put an LED screen in there and we'll play it on the loop.
Play it on repeat.
And you can just watch as many times as you like.
Plus he's writing a film on pro wrestling, so you'd think I would like it, but no.
Well, he's getting forced to, and then
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. My number 4 is Mank, the punt from earlier.
Seems a bit high, but okay.
You know what?
I mean, it seems just a skosh high.
I love this movie. I really do. Gary Oldman's fantastic in this film. The guy they got to play Orson Welles, a British dude, he's great as Orson Welles. And that's a tough imitation. Not many people have been able to do it successfully.
Very true.
Like D'Onofrio's good in it, in Ed Wood, and the me and Orson Welles movie. It almost made the cut. That actor plays Orson Welles really well. But
What about RKO, the
oh
Lee
yeah,
Schreiber?
I thought he was okay. Leave. I thought he was okay for Welles. I think he got the voice, but the presence of Welles, it's just a different animal. Just a different animal. I don't know if Leave 100% nailed that. But yeah, I mean, I think in Mank, Gary Oldman, so and Amanda Seyfried, Jesus Christ, this was watching her in this movie was like a little bit of an appetizer, even though she got nominated for this, for what you were going to get in The Dropout. Like it was like,
Mm.
oh, okay, this woman can fucking act, like legitimately fucking act, you know. So when I saw her in The Dropout, I was like, this is a star. This is a fucking talent. This is, you know, beyond like this idea of, oh, she's an ingenue. She's a fucking talent, you know. So seeing her in this, both of those projects, she was great. So yeah, I like Mank. I like the vibe of it, I like the pace of it. I'm a big fan of oh God, the names now slip out of my mind all the time. The dude from West Wing, the guy writer, what's his name?
Oh, well, I mean, that's
I guess I got to look it up because I'm old.
Aaron Sorkin.
Aaron Sorkin, that's it. I'm a big fan of Sorkin. And Fincher. Oh no, I'm sorry, Fincher. I'm a big fan of Fincher. Sorkin didn't write this. I was thinking.
I was going to say, I was like, this is a Sorkin. I don't remember
Sorry,
that, but
no,
okay.
I'm a big fan of Fincher. I love Fincher and all the stuff he does. So this just works for me, you know, because I'm a huge. Plus, it's around Citizen Kane and the William Randolph Hearst stuff. You know, Charles Dance playing that character so well. So much of it just kind of works for me. It's kind of weird too. It's like a fever dream of a movie, which I enjoy.
A little bit, yeah. Well, as Oldman's character is going through things, the movie kind of reflects the state of his being.
Yeah. All right, what's your 3?
My 3 is L.A. Confidential.
Ooh, that's a punt. How dare you?
Okay.
Just spit in my face, why don't you?
At 3? Okay.
My 3.
Seems excessive as a reaction, but all right.
My 3 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's called a punt.
Yeah, I had a feeling. All right, what's your 2?
My 2 is Ed Wood because it should be in your top 5.
That seems high.
That does not seem high. Yours seems categorically low. Ed Wood is note for note pitch perfect.
Wow.
Pitch perfect. Well, I'm just saying the performances they got, the choices they made on the casting, the shooting it in black and white.
Smart.
I think it all works so beautifully. Martin Landau just crushes as Bela Lugosi.
Landau's great.
It further cemented Johnny Depp being able to play just a wide variety. This wasn't your normal Tim Burton fare.
Yeah.
This is more a real life eccentric character as opposed to, you know, a Grimm Brothers tale come to life type of situation.
Yeah.
Bill Murray steals every scene that he's in effortlessly.
Yeah. Oh my God. The baptism scene. Do you reject Christ? Sure. So good.
And to choose to make a picture,
there it is.
A biopic about a guy who's ostensibly made one of the worst films, according to popular consensus, in the history of Hollywood.
Multiple worst films, but yes.
So well, Plan 9 being before The Room, there was Plan 9. And Plan 9 was that for 50 years before Room. So Room comes along, just like, all right, well, then now there's there's competition at the top. But it had been decades upon decades. Like when the pro wrestler character walks through that door and hits it and it shakes the whole set.
George.
And they're stopping, and Ed knows he doesn't have the money to shoot it again. And he's just like, that's a problem he would deal with in life. And they're like, that's not what the issue that we're bringing up here. I love watching Bella struggle with the monster in the water, but he has to move all the tentacles because they can't afford to have the motors and all that stuff, because I believe they stole the prop from another movie. And he's just wallowing around in the water. Hey, it's played for great laughs, and in no way does it demean the characters. It's just trying to tell like this sliver of this overall absurd story. I think it's a flawless movie. And anyway, it should be much higher on your list. That's my number 2. What do you have it to?
I have Singing in the Rain at 2, which is where it belongs, way at the top. I mean, the greatest musical ever made, top to bottom, and there are no arguments. And
Oh, there's a lot of arguments.
please, and
Coming from a guy that doesn't watch musicals, there's a lot of arguments.
yeah, fair enough. But what a I mean, I went back and watched some scenes just because whenever I think about it, I want to put it on. And my girlfriend's not a musicals person either, so I have to sneak off into my room to watch them sometimes. And I just really love the stuff, the energy of that film so well. The honesty between him and Debbie Reynolds, Gene Kelly and Debbie Reynolds, so sweet. Donald O'Connor playing the best friend. Moses Supposes is one of the most fantastically shot musical numbers that are all in one room. It's all in one room, and it works so well. The energy, the vibrancy, the joy, all of that. And then, you get to Singing in the Rain, which is one of the most sweetest expressions of like first love that you're ever going to see on screen, coming through in his dancing, coming through in his smile, his joy. I mean, Kelly, for all his meticulousness and really his kind of drill sergeant approach to dancing, which everyone talks about who work with him because he wanted to get it right, he had such a joy that could come through in the screen when you were watching him dance and watching him perform. Really, it's no one was built to do something more, maybe, aside from maybe Jordan, than Gene Kelly was born to dance and be in a musical.
That's an interesting comparison because all the stories you hear from Gene Kelly where he was a prick, like
Yeah,
a colossal, monumental prick.
Just like Jordan. Jordan.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not a bad comparison
Yeah.
because he has that smiling and dancing on the screen.
Yeah.
And then behind it, it's just,
Yeah. Yeah, because he was out to prove something. He was not your standard dancer, the skinny guy like Fred Astaire or others who came before him. And so he's more of in comparison, more of a wider guy.
He's more of a man's man type.
Yeah, man's man type approach. So he had that. Plus, he was in the Navy. He'd come from the military, so he had a certain approach. And he'd been trained as a dancer all his life in Pittsburgh. So coming into this film, and he taught Debbie how to dance. With Anchors Away, he taught Sinatra how to dance. And so he had this kind of pitch. And so when it's in the movie, there's just a joy and exuberance. And it really celebrates old Hollywood. And the son of a bitch threw in like a 9-minute, musical vignette that had no dialogue in it, just to kind of test out how audiences would be reacting to that. And then threw a 16-minute one into American in Paris, which won Best Picture. So I just really enjoy the hell out of this movie. And I have it in 4K, and it's beautiful in 4K, just beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, look, it made my list, and I think it's a testament to how good it is as a guy that doesn't watch musicals or seek them out.
Good point.
I think it's still very entertaining. It's just at the bottom of my list because I don't know how. I mean, I would watch it again if somebody was throwing it on, but I'm never going to throw it on again. I just wanted to watch it to kind of see it.
Yeah.
Just like American in Paris. I like Singing in the Rain better than American in Paris.
Fair enough.
I think it's just got better numbers overall.
Oh no, I think Singing in the Rain is the better musical. I think American in Paris is the better film. That's what I would say.
American in Paris' story is more relatable.
Yeah.
Whereas Singing in the Rain is about, transition to talking films, and then we were making a silent one, and then we have this actress we want to get rid of, but we can't, and all this stuff because she sucks at singing.
Yeah.
Which wasn't a problem until right now because of the jazz singer.
Right.
Yeah. But
there's elements of that in Babylon, just to let you guys know. There's elements of that in Babylon as well, which I think are really well done. Okay, so our number ones are opposites, but I think they're both our number threes.
Correctamundo.
So, go ahead, my man.
Once Upon a Time in the Hollywood. I just rewatched it again.
You did, huh? Okay.
I think, yes, Brad Pitt wins the Oscar. I think DiCaprio is the best thing in that movie.
Dude, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
DiCaprio is so good in the film. I mean, Pitt is damn good.
He's damn good.
No lie.
Look, he was my number one hunk on our Full Metal bracket. I like Brad Pitt. I think I've seen, outside of Ben Button and Tree of Life, I think I've seen everything else he's ever done.
Yeah.
I think those are the only two that I haven't seen. Ben Button, I was just never intrigued by. Tree of Life is Malik, and I was like, Mout. That was easy no-brainer.
How dare you?
Is it a meandering story that may or may not have a point? There you go. I'm fine with that with certain directors. Malik, I'm not.
Of seeing a Malik film.
What's that?
I think you misunderstand the assignment of seeing a Malik film. You're trying to find a point.
Look, P.T. Anderson can make something like The Master or Phantom Thread, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I know.
Malick
Tree of
is
Life
just,
takes you all the way to the Big Bang. He goes all the way back to the Big Bang in
and I'm
connecting
sure he
these.
made that dull. That's the thing.
How dare you? He did not.
The creation of the universe, and you're like, yeah, sure. I wish I loved him because it seems like it'd be right up my alley.
Yeah, yeah. I like it
Um,
because I know what I'm getting. I don't know what I'm gonna get. I don't know what I'm supposed to get out of this, but I know I'm gonna have a really fucking great time watching it. It's like Bardo. I put up somewhat of a review on social media about Bardo. I loved Bardo, and it's gonna make my top 10 of the year because it is a Latino version of Malik. It is Inarritu just absolutely in a crossroads as a director, kind of like 8.5 with Fellini, and he is just having these tangential
yeah, but that looks
situations.
wild and
Mm,
interesting and
mm.
kind of like a dreamscape
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
at
yeah.
times from the trailer. And like, okay. Whereas
It is
Malik is
absolutely
just,
that. Yeah.
I'm just thinking of Thin Red Line. It's like, kneeling down in the tall grass as the wind whips it behind me, and I stare longingly into a sunset, and then we do a flashback of me on better days, and like, I don't give a fuck about this character. I don't give a fuck about this flash. You're talking about World War II, which is catnip for any dude by
True.
and large,
Very true.
and I am bored out of my fucking skull. Oh, that was, yeah. I wish.
Yeah. All right,
Um,
let's move on. We're an
Yeah,
hour and
but
30. All right.
DiCaprio with the little girl when he's trying to read
Oh
his
my
book,
forget it.
so good. The you're gonna be living it in 15 years, still as good. And then him trying to do the lines and then getting pissed at himself going into his trailer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's yelling at himself. He just had to have, I can't remember if they were gin and tonics or what the fuck he drank the night
Mm,
before. Tom Collins.
yeah.
But he's yelling at himself for having, you had to have 7 of them, didn't you? Didn't you? You couldn't stop at 2. And then it cuts to the next scene and he pulls out his flask and he starts to take a sip and he's, God damn it. And he opens his door and throws the flat. He is so good.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they go back onto set and he delivers that scene where he throws the girl on the ground. And then it cuts and the guy's talking to him. And he's like, oh, that's amazing. How did you come up with the director? And the little girl comes up to him and just like, that was the best acting I've ever seen. And he's just, oh, dude, killing me.
I know. It's a
Oh,
good film. Up until the
so
end,
good.
I love the movie. That's
See,
why
I
it's
love
3.
the end too. Just like
Yeah.
this is already a fever dream.
Yeah.
So might as well go full bore. And then to see Rick Dalton get everything he wants with the Sharon Tate comes on,
Right.
the
Right,
the
right.
loudspeaker and invites him up. Yeah, and the Bruce Lee stuff is Brad Pitt's imagination.
Right, right, right.
Full on.
Yeah.
None of that happened. That is
None of that.
him
Yeah.
creating an excuse as to why he's not allowed on the set.
Right, right.
Oh, I kicked the shit out of Bruce Lee. Did you? Or are you just an asshole that only the Dalton likes?
Yeah. Just like Hollywood people he's kind of lying about.
Yeah. He's 100%
It's
lying to
yeah,
himself.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's incredibly well written. And everything up until the ending, I am a huge fan of. Like everything up until the ending is fucking great. The scene with the Manson compound shit and Bruce Dern, all of that with Dakota Fanning and what's her face from Susan Sarandon's daughter. I forget her name, but she's so good in the role. Yeah, everything all the way up to the end. So that's the only reason why it's 3. So then my one is LA Confidential because fucking hell, I love LA Confidential from top to bottom. And it's incredibly well written. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. The betrayal scene with James Cromwell and Kevin Spacey is so resonant. Them beating up Danny DeVito tied to the fucking chair, which is scary as hell.
DeVito's like, yeah, you didn't have to make it look, you got to pull your punches. Somebody's got to teach this guy and be like, well, you don't know what's coming, do you?
You have no idea.
You don't know what's coming.
And Russell is like a caged animal through that whole movie, man. He is scary as fuck in that film, dude.
Yeah.
I've never felt that vibe when I watch him in a movie since he's been strong, he's good, but like that's pure menace, man.
He took his romper stomper and just pulled out the Nazi.
He put it in a suit, a suit that barely fit. But yeah, and Basinger is fantastic. Guy Pearce is so good, and the story, the scope of the story, and it's a mystery that they're trying to figure out legitimately throughout the movie. And when you find out who is involved and everybody's involved, you're like, holy shit, man, this is absolutely a Hollywood tale. And I mean, them hanging the fucking DA guy out the window, that's fucking awesome. So I get
And
very
honestly,
satisfied watching
something from that time where when you see in other movies like a Lethal Weapon or something, it's done for effect. I actually believe something like that could have happened in this town.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
In the 1940s and 50s.
Yeah. It's kind of why I like Perry Mason. Perry Mason does a nice job of kind of evoking that same vibe. The first season.
Talking about oh yeah, I loved it. I thought it was really good. I knew where that church was, and
oh wow,
it's in Echo Park.
Oh okay.
So we went down to the actual park itself. Whenever you're watching like some sporting event from Los Angeles, eventually they're going to show you Echo Park, the little lake area type of thing. It's right next to that.
Oh okay, shit. All right, I didn't know that. They dropped the trailer for season 2 already. It looks fucking great.
Oh, really? Dude, I didn't know that. I'm jazzed. I thought season 1 was great.
Yep, agreed. All right, well, there you go. That's our separate lists. You want to put it together? You want to roll on out of here? What do you want to do? You make the decision this time. I made the decision.
All right, let's put it together real quick. You want me to flip for number 1?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't have the bongos in front of me, so we got to use the desk.
All right, LA Confidential takes it.
Hey-o!
Once Upon a Time is next.
Okay.
We have Who Framed at 5 apiece.
I have Singing in the Rain at 2.
Yeah, I've got that at 7.
Okay. Mank is my 4.
That's my 8. Right, Ed Wood is my 2. You're what?
10.
Yeah.
So we're moving Who Framed up?
Yeah, we'll do Who Framed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say, what's your 2?
2-9. Singing in the Rain? 2-9.
2-7. All right, so Singing in the Rain.
Okay.
I would say Ed Wood, then Mank.
Okay. Then we have The Aviator.
Yeah, I have it at 9. You have it at 6?
Yes.
All right, so The Aviator. Now we're just doing what's your tops? I got my 4.
I do not, so go ahead.
All right.
I don't have anything till 7, so if you've got stuff before that, put it on the list.
I do? All right, what's your 7? Because that now makes it on.
My favorite year.
All right, and there it is. That's all.
Nice.
That's 1 through 10.
All right, let's do this. The top 10 movies about older Hollywood. Yeah. At number 10.
My favorite year.
At number 9.
The Nice Guys.
At number 8.
Barton Fink.
At number 7.
The Aviator.
At number 6.
Mank.
At number 5.
Ed Wood.
At number 4.
Singing in the Rain.
At number 3.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
At number 2.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And our number 1 movie about older Hollywood is
LA Confidential.
Rolo Tomasi, you sons of bitches. All right, there you go. That's our list, and that's our show for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it madly. Matt, what else do we have to tell them?
You can follow the show at Top 10 Show on Twitter. It's all spelled out. Otherwise, on YouTube and Instagram, it's / The Top 10 Podcast with the number 10. You can head to patreon.com / The Top 10 with the number 10 and join us over there. And you can follow me anywhere at Matt Knost. Check out my other show, Settle the Score. You can find that anywhere you get podcasts. Otherwise, you can go to youtube.com / Matt Knost to watch it over there. And that is it for me this week.
Yeah, you can follow me at The Rocha Says, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, The Outlaw Nation on Twitch. My YouTube channel, youtube.com / John Rocha Says. We just crossed 25,000 subscribers, so come aboard if you haven't done that yet. And my other podcast, The Cinephiles and The Hot Mic. All right, thanks you guys. Y'all take care of yourselves. Have a great holiday, Christmas, whatever you're going to do with this week. Enjoy yourselves, have fun, and spend time with family and friends. Or if you want to be alone, spend time with that. And if you're feeling down, put on one of our shows. I guarantee you we'll make you laugh and we'll pick up your spirits this holiday season. So please do that if you need it. All right, take care of yourselves. Be well. We'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of the Top 10. Peace.
Bye-bye.